The current state of attempting to collect Pokemon cards may seem daunting, but in all actuality, there's a lot of more budget friendly sets that are out there that aren't really sought after right now. And in this video, I'm going to walk through kind of what the current market price is, what a lot of people are chasing. And I want to talk about a handful of sets that are not that high in value, which at the current moment, which means it's a prime opportunity to actually consider collecting those sets if you're interested in cards in those sets. So before we jump into that list of sets I want to go over, I do just want to touch base on kind of the current state of what we're looking at the time of the recording of this video. We can see the Charizard from 151 is currently sitting about $467. Absolutely crazy to me. The UPCs are about $900. Even Blooming Waters, it's $300, which is insane. We've got Ascended Heroes that recently came out. So the Gengar is sitting at over $1,000. The Dragonite, which I'm fortunate enough to have pulled, is sitting about $620. And the Pink Pikachu's about $330. And if we go down, let's see if the other Pikachu's on here. Not seeing the other one. Oh, here it is. And the other Pikachu's $515. So, and then we've got both of those gold cards. The Gold Zard is about $500. Gold Dragonite, $321. The other Gold Zard, $373. And the SIR Zard from Phantasmal Flames is about $740. So obviously those cards are extremely expensive, and it's great if you pull them, but pack prices are also kind of through the roof. So you can see Phantasmal Flames booster box, $340, absolutely crazy. Perfect Order even being at $235 on pre-order, also pretty crazy. So what I did is I extracted out all of the data from TCG Player's database, and I aggregated it together to identify what is the current market price per set for every set that's ever been released in Pokemon, along with what is the value of the chase card. And so what we're going to do in this video is we're actually going to go down and look at some. So right now this is sorted highest to lowest. We filtered out the code cards. We've got everything else in there. And this is including reverse foils. So just keep that in mind when you see. And obviously, you're going to see the e-reader series at the top here. So we've got Expedition, Aquapolis, Skyridge. Skyridge is a little bit skewed on the lower side here. The set price is actually a lot higher than this. But they don't... TCG Player doesn't have market price for near mint for all Skyridge cards because they are so scarce. So Skyridge would normally be up here higher, but just because we're missing a couple, you can see it says the chase price is about $1,000. It's actually closer to $2,500 for the reverse Zard. And then moving down from there, there's like one at $1,250, and then the Alakazam's $1,000. So it does have the Alakazam on there, just not the top two cards. So a little bit skewed there. But you can see even unskewed, it's still $12,000 for that set. And then moving on down the list, you're going to see tons of sets. Obviously, these are all over $1,000, which is pretty crazy to me. But moving down further, if we go all the way to the bottom here, you're going to see a bunch of like little miscellaneous sets. We're not going to really talk about these, but if these are things that you're interested in, like the McDonald's promo sets, very inexpensive to collect. You can see each of those sets, $15 a piece pretty much for the whole set. And there's only 15 cards in a set, so you're only averaging like $1 a card. If you wanted to put together some of the McDonald's sets, very inexpensive. Even the older ones, like from 2011, that set had 12 cards. It's only $57. Moving on up, you will see Shining Fates in here, as well as Celebrations. These are the mainline sets. These aren't the back half of like the Shiny Vaults and the Classic Collection in Celebration. Those are in the list elsewhere. If we scroll up, Dragon Vault. There was only 21 cards in this set. This was a little special set. But you can see $175 for that whole set. And so definitely not bad at all. And again, this is including the reverse holo prices. We're going to filter down here in a minute. One of the big ones I want to highlight here is going to be Emerging Powers. So we're going to be taking a look at this one. This is a set from Black and White era. And you can see that total set price is a very low. So this is actually the card count. This is the set price here. So $268, including all the reverse foils. Now, if we take that down, I personally don't collect reverse foils. I collect the full main set. So if we take out those reverse foils, and let's just go ahead and resort this. And we come down, and we look at Emerging Powers. You can see if you want to accumulate all 98 cards, main set, it's only $105. Going up to like Darkness Ablaze, it's only $228. Pokemon Go is about $300. Steam Siege is $344. And you can kind of see all these, you could get the full set for the price of a modern booster box. Obviously, Steam Siege isn't too old. It was I believe it was the very last set in X and Y. Maybe preceding Evolution. I forget the exact release schedule of this, but it was one of the very last sets in the X and Y era. Pokemon Go obviously isn't that old of a set. Darkness Ablaze, a little bit older than Pokemon Go. And you're going to see other ones in here like Vivid Voltage, Rebel Clash, all in that sub $500 range. Even Black and White, the base for Black and White, the original set, $471 there. So we're going to hop on over and kind of show you what those look like. So we've got Emerging Powers, and all of these are going to be sorted price high to low, near mint, cards only. So when we look at Emerging Powers, there was only 2 full arts in this set, Thundurus and Tornadus. And you can kind of see the market price on those are both under $25 pretty much. So $26 for Thundurus, Tornadus is $18. You pick those up in really good condition. If you're unfamiliar with Emerging Powers, when it came out, the booster boxes that came out for it were basically seated in a way where you could actually get potentially get the entire set in one booster box. Those booster boxes are extremely scarce now, given how old original Black and White was. But so they were known for pretty easy pull rates. They only had 2 full arts in them, and I believe there were how many holo rares? There were 10 holo rares in that set. So really easy set to complete and master. If you're just going to go and buy the singles, honestly. Like I actually went on here and I added all 98 singles to my cart, and it was going to be like less than 120 shipped for every card in the set. This is actually a set that I'm looking to build out myself. It's one I don't have, but I do want to try to get a top loader binder full of this entire set. And I'm taking this opportunity while everybody's chasing a lot of other cards in the market. I'm actually going to focus on this set once I complete my Yu-Gi-Oh set. Next up is a more well-known set, and it's Darkness Ablaze. Darkness Ablaze is known for having the Charizard VMAX as kind of its chase card. But because it was just an ultra rare, it was actually pretty easy to pull. I believe when this set came out, I opened 2 booster boxes. One of the booster boxes had this card in it. It gets seeded in with the regular ultra rares, so it's not like a secret rare or anything like that. The rainbow rares were all the secret rares. And so another easy set to complete. Moving on, Pokemon Go. This is actually one of my favorite sets. I know a lot of people don't like this set, but I do a lot. In fact, I was able to complete this set originally back when it first came out, within like the first 2 weeks of it being out, which is pretty crazy. I've opened a lot of Pokemon Go products. You've got the alt art Mewtwo V. There's also an alt art of Conkeldurr V. So that's here. That one's super inexpensive right now. You've also got a Radiant Charizard, Radiant Venusaur, and Radiant Blastoise all in this set. There are also holo rare versions of Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise. Super awesome set. This had the pillable Dittos. So there were 4 Ditto cards that were kind of masked behind a sticker. So it looked like a reverse foil of Bidoof, Spinnerack, Numel, and I forget who the 4th one was. There were maybe it was 3. I thought there were 4. It might have just been those 3. And then you peel the sticker off and it reveals a Ditto. It was pretty neat concept. So, but all those are in this set, and you can see they're all relatively inexpensive. The Radiant Zards, about $18 right now. Even the Alt Art Mewtwo is only about $50. So, another great set to accumulate. I do foresee this probably going up in the near future. Steam Siege, which was one of, it was being known for being one of the worst sets, at least from collector standpoints. Nobody wanted to buy Steam Siege. Nobody wanted to open the packs. They were basically giving them away. But some of those cards have actually increased in value compared to what they were. So there is a Gardevoir EX Secret Rare in this set. It's the gold Secret Rare. And it's basically a chase card. It's about $83. And then moving down from that, the Full Art's $48. And then the Volcanion Gold Secret Rare was $33, or is $33 at this point. And so you can kind of see those chase cards. Gardevoir, Steelix, heavy set with Volcanion in it as well. And then moving on to Champion's Path. So Champion's Path is another one that is relatively inexpensive to collect. There's really 2 big cards in this set. There's both Charizards. They pretty much make up the whole value of the set for the most part. You can kind of see the Charizard V, the shiny one, is $255. The Rainbow Rare VMAX Zard is $173. And then we've got Gardevoir VMAX, the Rainbow Rare, is $15. And then we've got a couple other Rainbow Rares here as well that are in like that $5 to $6 range. So we got Alchemy, and then scrolling down, there was 1 gold card in here. So that Gold Secret Rare Suspicious Food Tin was known to be pretty easy to pull because there was only 1 gold rare in the whole set. And so these don't hold value too much, but they are really cool just to have in person. The cards look amazing. Moving on, Great Encounters. So this is another interesting one. If we go back to the spreadsheet here and we look at Great Encounters, this only having a set value of $560, it's pretty crazy to me. This had level X cards in it. In fact, you can see there are 4 level X cards. There's a Dialga, which there's actually none for sale right now in near mint condition on TCG Player. The market price on those is $250. There's a Palkia V. It's a market of $150. Darkrai has a market price of $100. Cresselia has a market price of $42. Once you get past those, you drop down to the Holo Rares and you've got about $20 or less. So most of those Holo Rares are going to be in like that $20 range. But another inexpensive set to collect. And then moving on to another older set, and that is Mysterious Treasures. So this is another one that you've got both of kind of your top 2 cards here. You can kind of see the market price is low on these. The asking price is high, and that's just indicative of there not being a lot on the market right now. But if we're just looking at market prices for these, there is a Lucario level X. The market price on that really should be about $58. A Holo Rare is $56. So it's actually just a regular Holo Rare Time Space Distortion in this set. And what you might notice with some of these older sets is the ultra rare trainers have kind of held their value somewhat. And you're going to see that when we look at Noble Victories as well. But you can see there's an Alakazam, $46. Magnetar level X, $50. Garchomp, Holo Rare, $30. And there is a Celebi in here. There's an Electivire level X. It's only $30. Again, these level X cards, little bit hard to find in a near mint condition. You could probably get Lightly Played. In fact, if we switch to Lightly Played, you can see there is a lightly played Lucario for 72. And then there is a Magnetar for 35. Still no Electivire, so it might be one to keep an eye out on. If we take a look at moderately played, there will probably be one of that. Yep, there is for $23 in moderately played. So if you see a near mint or lightly played, might be something worth picking up just from a scarcity standpoint on the market. And the last one I want to take a look at is Noble Victories. And I really like this set. The set's cool in the sense that it was kind of like the original Red Victini was in the set. So you can kind of see that here. And N's trainer card, the N trainer card, absolutely crazy to me that this card is $263 market price for a full art from this set. But you're going to see all of the full arts have pretty much retained their price. So we've got N at $263, Victini, $127, Cabion, $54, Virizion, $45, Terrakion is $36, and then you can also see there is a holo rare Victini in the set, so the non-ultra rare, but it's still a holo rare, $10. And then there's two variants of that in the set. This specific one is $10, and then there's another one that's about $5. And then moving down, the cards get obviously less and less, but if we look at the very end of this list, and you look at some like the commons, uncommons, you'll see they're only about a quarter a piece. So you pick up a lot of this set on a relatively cheap budget. So if we take a look, and then Dragon Majesty is another one. This is a more modernish set, but I'm a big fan of Dragon Majesty as well. But if we look at Mysterious Treasures, you can see $600 without any of the reverse rares. So obviously if we throw some reverse rares in here, it's going to be a little bit higher, but not too bad. These are all sets that I would consider maybe picking up singles for. I definitely wouldn't open packs for any of these. So if we take a look at, the packs, so if we look at sealed products on these, starting with Emerging Powers, which you can basically buy the whole set in singles for $100. Pack price on that is $75 to $80. And you're only going to get like 10 cards out of that. So definitely would not open any of these older sets. I definitely would not open sealed packs for these. You can kind of see Noble Victories as well. Those packs are $170 for those. Definitely wouldn't recommend buying and opening packs. I would just buy the singles. If we take a look at Mysterious Treasures, $120 a pack there. And Great Encounters, we've got $207 on Great Encounters. So obviously with like Champion's Path, Steam Siege, Pokemon Go, Darkness Ablaze, those packs are going to be a lot cheaper. So if we look at Champion's Path packs, those are going to be about $17 a pack. And then Steam Siege, $25 a pack, which is absolutely crazy to me. Steam Siege is that. I think Pokemon Go is about 10. Darkness Blaze probably about 10. So those are just some sets that I wanted to show you guys. And I'll just kind of scroll through this list real quick. And let's just take a look at $1,000 and less. So we've got Shining Legends Double Crisis, Rumble, which is a special set. Platinum, the base set for Platinum. Fossil, which is one of the original WotC sets. You can see $860. We've got Paradox Rift, Breakpoint, so you're going to see a couple newer ones there. Again, Jungle. Jungle only had 64 cards in it, but $843. So you're seeing two WotC sets in here. It's absolutely crazy. Now, on the WotC side, these are unlimited. I didn't include first edition in here. So just keep that in mind. Guardians Rising, Temporal Forces, Diamond and Pearl base set. We talked about Noble Victories. Shrouded Fables in here. Astral Radiance is split. Same thing with Silver Tempest. So you'll actually see those split. You'll see the galleries down below the trainer gallery. XY base set. Pretty cool. 657 for that. Fates Collide, 647. Dragon Majesty, we talked about 625. Scarlet and Violet base, just over 600. We talked about Mysterious Treasures. We talked Great Encounters. Sun and Moon base set is about 530. And just scrolling down the list, the main line for Generations, not the Radiant collection part, but just the main line part is $471. And Southern Islands is in here. Now, with Southern Islands, I filtered out reverse holos, so this is skewed. If I include reverse holos, you'll see all 18 cards. And obviously, it's quite a bit more than this. It's about $1,500, I think. We've got Rebel Clash, though. Crimson Invasion, Obsidian Flames, Steam Siege, Pokemon Go, Darkness Ablaze. The mainline set for Hidden Fates is in here. Again, not the Shiny Vault, just the mainline set there. Obviously, all the McDonald's sets are going to be sprinkled in towards the bottom here. And that's pretty much it. So just wanted to show you guys, like, there's a lot. Even if you're somebody that wants to complete sets, there's tons of sets that you can pursue that you could probably get on a relatively low budget. Obviously, upwards of $1,000 to me is still a lot to be spending on cards, on singles trying to get, especially, some of those are $250 a card. But on those lower ends, like Emerging Powers, where the chase card in that set is only, $30 or so, like, those make it a lot easier to kind of justify just going out, buying the singles. Definitely don't buy the packs for these. It's definitely worth it to maybe consider picking up some of these cards, even if you just pick up the ultra rares in the set. But like I said, personally, I'm currently going to go after Emerging Powers next. As soon as I finish my Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection, I'm going to go after Emerging Powers, and then probably Great Encounters, Mysterious Treasures, Noble Victories. These are the sets that I am looking at. I'm looking at what's more on the lower end, budget-friendly side, while the boom in Pokemon's happening right now. And then inevitably, things will retrace. And then I will look at some of those other modern sets. But right now, I'm not really chasing modern sets as much.